You know what I love so much about the show and about the character of Randall is that he's Black on purpose. When what I mean by that is so many times for the sake of diversity on network television, there's gonna be a Black guy or, you know, a Latino guy, et cetera, and by happenstance, and then it just happened to be that. But the fact that he is Black and we actually use that to tell the story of a Black man being raised by this white family who still has the experience of being Black in America. And his sort of coming to grips with the fact that regardless of his family, he is perceived in this way, right? And he has to walk a very particular line because he will be treated differently than his brother or sister are. And I enjoy it a great deal. And the feedback that I get from people when I'm out on the street is like, we don't get a chance to see this that often. Like a successful Black man married with 2 children who's happy and succeeding in life, but still has to deal with the fact that life is not the same. You know, the paths that we walk are going to be different. Because you know what this little Black kid was doing?
I don't know.
I was a little boy living in Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, which is pretty much the whitest place on earth. I had this little notebook. And every time I met a new Black person, I would put a mark in this notebook. And every time I met a Black man, I wondered if somehow, if that man could possibly be my father.
I'm curious, and this is a show that's run by a white man, a room that is presumably largely white. How much of that is you, you know, adding to the character and trying to sort of capture that sort of fundamental anger that you're talking about?
We had about 7 writers in our writers' room, and 2 of them were Black. 2 of them were African American, as a matter of fact. So I found that very, very helpful because if either I or the writers had a question or suggestion to Dan, everybody was incredibly open, and the collaborative aspect of it was welcomed in that aspect, because Dan would say, like, I'm not 100% sure about this. I was like, let me give you my perspective. I can't give you all of Black America, but I can give you my perspective, and then hopefully that will ring true as we put it out into the world.
What was the show growing up that you guys absolutely loved?
The A-Team.
The Sid Caesar Show.
The A-Team for you?
I tell you one for me, I was a junior or sophomore in high school where I felt like television had done something that was very unique and special. And it was NYPD Blue, right? And I remember watching it like 9 o'clock Tuesday nights on ABC, and I was like, oh, I never seen like, it's like real people. Like this is, I got like my breath got taken away from the whole thing. And I was like, maybe this is something that I could do. I would like to do that. Like growing up where I was from, acting always meant in a very naive way, like putting on tights and speaking in a very highfalutin way. And I've worn tights and spoken highfalutin as well. But to see that show and just like how this was just raw, you know what I'm saying? It was real. I got very, very excited about it. And so all through grad school, I was like, one day I'm gonna be on NYPD Blue, like y'all gonna wait. And the show's around, and I made it into the last season with a co-star. Oh, and I walked around the set, and I was talking to friends, and I was like, yo, man, this is crazy, son. Like, this is where this happened, and this is where this happened. And he's like, you really like the show? I was like, yeah, man, I really like the show.
That's fantastic.
So yeah, the blue is cool. Okay.
I will say Nina Jacobson was on our roundtable last year for People vs. O.J. and she talked about how hard it was to cast the role of Chris Darden, how she had so much trouble finding Black men who wanted to play that role because they so sort of detested who he was and what he stood for.
No, she told me a little bit about that. And I would say that was pretty nerve-wracking for me because it was sort of the beginning of being invited to roundtables like these. And you know, your boy lived off Pico, and they were looking all over South Africa and then London, et cetera. I was like, yo, I'm right here. But what was so interesting about the whole process was being surrounded by people who I admired, who've been doing this for a much longer time than I had at a high level, and how egoless everyone was in terms of their embracing of me, which taught me when you are confident and feel good about what you do, there's no need to make other people feel small. And like, I thought they were gonna have me making coffee runs or like, you know, doing push-ups in the corner, because, hey, rookie, do that. But like, everybody was just so cool from Jump Street, and they got me over my nerves very quickly, so we could just tell the story. So that was nervous, but it went through it pretty fast.
Hey, it's Billy Bob Thornton.
I'm Jeffrey Wright. Hi, I'm John Lithgow.
Hi, I'm Riz Ahmed.
Hi, I'm Ewan McGregor, and thanks for watching The Hollywood Reporter on YouTube.
Thanks for watching the Roundtable on Hollywood Reporter, YouTube style thing.